Hey guys, welcome. So let's continue, and the first thing we're going to do is reduce the dissipation. I think it's really high, so I'm going to reduce this to 0.01, and let's first take on the turbulence. I'm going to hit play. And I don't know what the resolution is. It's a reasonable low res sim, and we're not seeing a lot of turbulence at the moment, so let's increase this to something higher. Sorry. Let's increase this to 0.75, and I'm gonna play with the settings a little bit more. Set this to 10. Sorry, let's set this to 2 and see what we get. Yeah, I'm still not seeing the effect of it on this. I'm going to turn off the control field, the density field, and what that does is it's going to apply. Previously it was using the density as a multiplier, and I don't want that. I want the turbulence to be applied to the whole system at once. And I'm going to increase this to 10. And let's hit play. I want to see it change the sim drastically. Cool, so you can see it. You can see it there now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to time the turbulence so it only happens in the first few frames at a really high value, at really high magnitude, and then it decays off. And I'm going to also take on the density, and let's remap the field. Now, a quick way how to take a look at the density here is to see the actual values in the viewport. So I'm going to set this to 0, and let's see. And I think the density values are good between 0 and 1 because of this. If we see it and it's not too dense, that means the value is close to 1. And then later I will show how to actually get the proper value. So I think I'm going to go with these ranges. I'm going to clip this. I don't want the turbulence to be applied everywhere. I'm going to change the ramp a bit. Something like that. Let's hit play. Cool. So it's expanding. And you can see it's creating a lot of details already, breaking up this whole system. So let's set it to 20, maybe 40 to start with, and then decay it off to maybe 3. Let's hit play. Cool, you can see the effect here. I think it's helping. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And then let's take on all these guys. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time tweaking them, just gonna turn them on, and I'm gonna lower each one of these guys. Let's hit play. Cool, so we're getting a lot more turbulence, and all these are taking effect. Now that confinement is helping a lot as well, and this is primarily the effect I was looking for to create, and I think it was more coming from these guys rather than the actual sim itself. And I was looking at having an expansion where we get a balloon of we get a sphere that is expanding, and also a lot of leftover ground elements like this. And the scale of this feels really big already because of the slow evolution happening. And yeah, I think it's working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to preview this with the fire look, so we see what kind of effect we have. And it's always very important to play it at real time. Now, a hack that I do, sorry, let me center this. I think the silhouette looks really interesting for this, but these guys are going to be super shredded, and the detail, the noise is gonna ruin it over here. I know this from experience. So let's play this. And I think it's working. Yeah. We have the expansion happening in a couple of frames, and then a proper reaction. You can see the temperature. I think it's decaying super fast, so I want to tweak that as well, so it doesn't cool off quickly. And I want more temperature. And here you can see how all these solvers are distorting the data when it's after it moves up. All these guys are getting a lot of disturbance. But overall, I think it's working. Now, one hack I do is I change this to something much lower, just to get an idea about how this sim would feel like if it was much slower. And the slower the sim, the bigger the scale is going to look. Even at a small scale sim, if you don't have a lot of fast moving parts, it's going to feel much bigger. And I generally do this to see how much changes I need to do to the sim to get it either to behave slower or faster. And if it's faster, then most of the time it's done in comp. If it's slower, there is various techniques that we're gonna take a look at to retime the actual sim instead of having to tweak all the values. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna change this value to something, maybe 1. Let's hit play, see what we get. Okay, let's take a look at the resolution. Yeah, I think 1. I'm gonna let this play, and then we'll continue on this in the next video. Actually, we're going to take a look at this result, and it will show the original scene and compare them. Thank you for watching, and see you in a bit.